Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to GameStar TV and our continuing coverage of the Blizzard ANZ Season 4 qualifiers. Last night, it's the playoffs of Week 4 and everything to play for these two teams, especially for Milkshake. We're just getting them into the lobby now, and while we do that, we're going to do the draw for the first of the loot chest codes. So I'm going to head over to my robot here and press the buttons. Beep, 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 beep. And here we go. So the first one goes to the Fish 74. So congratulations, the Fish 74. You are the winner of a loot chest code, and it is a fine loot chest code. There will be 12 loot chests in that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll open the next raffle during the next match. So as soon as we get underway with the champion select or the hero select, we'll open the next raffle. So make sure that you enter that !GS HOTS when that happens. Now I see most of the players are in the lobby. So Skimmy, I think we're ready to go.
We are indeed, so let's jump into it. Game number 2. It's going to be on Towers of Doom this time around, with Milkshake lads actually opting to go for the very first pick, so switching it up from last time. Let's see what they have in their bag of tricks this time, Vandy. We've seen them playing Towers of Doom in the past.
We have indeed, and this is actually one of the maps that they swept NMD away on last week, so let's see if they're feeling confident, they're feeling happy. I mean, Nomia, they might have known as well, but Nomia feel quite at home on this map, so I don't think this map is going to give home advantage to either team. It's more going to be coming down to those picks, and the Milkshake boys, they really want that first pick.
It's interesting to see how both teams can actually go into this one, because I say, yeah, for Nomia, you have to wonder, are they treating this as as business as usual? Are they looking to try and experiment with different ideas leading into the finals that will be happening later in this month? On the side of Milkshake, it's all hands on deck just to get more experience versus better opponents, learn and study what they can from the replays as well. So comfort heroes, you'd have to imagine, would be a priority on the side of Milkshake, but it could really go up in the air for Nomia.
It could. I'm wondering if Milkshake, if they want to play that all-important Garrosh, the Tassadar ban is indicating that to me. Will Nomia let them have it is another question, I guess. I'd be very, very interested and very surprised if they did.
This is a comfort ban from Milkshake as well. Religiously, they've always banned away to Tassadar, just not liking that hyper carry ability, and that might be a potential weakness that they have in their team. Either they can't play it or they just don't know how to deal with it. But regardless, it is a hero in the meta right now, which is incredibly strong in the right hands, applying that shield and allowing heroes such as, Vala, Lunara, Cassia to do incredible work with. The response from Nomia is, we ban away that Greyming. We know how much you love to play it, especially when paired with the Malthael. You cannot have it. It's the all-important question, Vandy. Is it going to be that first pick?
Yeah. Is it going to be Garrosh? Let's wait and see. Nomia, like you said, woke up. They know how much Milkshake prioritize and love to play Greymane. Thinking that they can do a target ban here and see if they can weaken Milkshake's defense. Let's see how they want to respond. Tassadar, Milkshake, they did actually face a double support composition, even without a Tassadar, and we saw they were really struggling. They did not have the appropriate tools to react. So have they learned their lesson? They take away the ETC from Nomia, so they don't want to give away anything else about their draft, but just showing that they value the ETC so much. They thought that it was almost pivotal to what Nomia were bringing that last game.
It's cool to see, actually, because it's almost as if they're basically switching their draft on the fly and saying, look, we tried to play a wave-clearing competition last time. It didn't really fit either our style or we weren't too accustomed with it, that we're going to try and change things back to basics. We're going to go for the ETC. A kill comp really is where our strength lies. But the response straight away from Nomia is, we are looking for those picks. We're going to take their Stitches if you take our ETC. And we're going to rock with that Malfury. And you can see Vanilla doing a great job on it last time, getting some huge roots and the Twilight Dreams to ensure it. But Genji and Rhaegar, quick picks across the board. Definitely a kill comp coming out this time from Milkshake.
Yeah, it's going to be business as usual for the Milkshake boys. They're drafting something that I think that they've used in the past. I mean, I'm sensing it was quite similar to the one that they used on Towers of Doom last time versus NMD. So they want to be able to win this based off those comfort picks, like you said. Stitches, Malfurion, I like it. You've got the hook into the root, that crowd control that we know and love. More importantly, the follow-up for Stitches. As we saw, Azog, he was getting some nice hooks in the last game, but the follow-up was either slow or just not quite there on the Milkshake boys.
Question is now, what is the banning priority? It's almost as if Nomia is saying, we're going to take away every single pick that we know you're comfortable with and put you into those heroes that, may be meta for the composition you're trying to run, but you may not just be that good at playing them, and as a result, we can go for that clean 2-0 to start the night off with. They're hovering the Malthael, but last second actually opting for a consideration on the ARF as they do decide to lock in with it. not going to allow that double tank to come across, which suggests to me Nomia are looking for more aggression on their side.
They're looking for the aggression, or maybe they're clearing the way to bring out an Illidan. So they said, it's all right if you've got the Malthael, that's fine. We just want to make sure that if we do pick an Illidan, his biggest counter being Arthas, he's away and free. Look at that as well.
Yeah.
Both teams, it's so target banned. It's interesting. After the first game, you can always see these types of bans start to emerge. So by hovering that Malthael, very, very target banning. On the side of Milkshake. And Milkshake, that Tyrande, they were saying, we do not want to deal with your double support again.
I mean, I'm not too sure the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure John came top DPS. That guy was popping off on the map that's not really known for its, like, distance. On a map like this, has even more value, correct, right? So the owl from the altars interrupting all day long, and especially with that cooldown reduction, it became quite silly at some stages during the last game as well, denying those hand-ins, becoming a pivotal part of their success in that one. But 2 picks now to follow up this initial pick composition. They go for the Li Ming, almost as if they're anticipating that the Li Ming was going to be taken away to pair with that Genjing. We've not come up with a name for this yet, Vandy. We call it the Reset Boys, but we need something better than that, and I can't think of it. We always say this. Probably not the best time to make it up on the spot.
No, we'll go back to the drawing board. I just call them the Reset Duo, and it's good to always split them up because, like you said, the synergy that they have, especially with the Greymane gone and him fulfilling that mage role to some extent with the cocktail build and the poke, they took away the Li Ming, who would have actually substituted, been perhaps even a better choice on a map like this, because around the altar she has relatively a lot of space. There's nothing that can deny, unlike, Infernal Shrines where you've got little dudes running around. No, it's all clear to get those all-important skill shots onto them and deal all the damage. Zagara as well being picked up, so that might be Ryu playing that one.
I'd say it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him on Brax's holdout last week, right? When he debuted it, and he absolutely bodied a Dahaka, so you'd imagine there had to be a response coming out for Milkshake right now, assuming they need a very strong solo laner. I mean, Malthael is still there, but I'm not sure of that matchup against Malthael for Zagara.
I mean, Zagara can poke at him, but if Malthael manages to lay into her, that's when it can be hard. But it's hard for him to sustain, like I said, because she's ranged. Malthael,
right,
it works best against anyone with melee. Tychus and Dahaka being the responding pick, so they do have a global of their own this time around, and it's something that can hopefully at least hold the lane against Zagara with Dahaka's the regen that he can get in lane. Tychus for the shred as well. I mean, I like that because they've got the stitches, and Tychus, more importantly, he can Odin up and get that long-range siege, that long-range poke. So it could be the damage that they're looking for to really accelerate the Genji, get the resets happening for him.
I mean, right now, if you're looking at what they have on their side, they've got ETC and Dahaka. Those are their windows to try and find those kills within those short windows, be it Power Slide and the Drag. They're going to try and execute within that for the Genji, but they need to sort of pad them down, almost tenderize them a wee bit with Tychus's minigun. So we'll have to see how pivotal the Tychus is for this composition. That is their 5-man squad for Milkshake on Tales of Doom. 1 pick to round it out. I was thinking it was going to be an Illidan, but they've obviously surprised me with a Zagara and a Valera. Okay.
Yeah. Didn't see that one coming.
I said at the start of this game, are we going to see Nomia try something new? And I think that was basically what's just happened.
I believe it's got to be Fat 94 on that one.
It has to be.
Has to be. And he's just feeling so confident to be able to pick it into that. He'll look into assassinating that backline. So namely Crazy Dave, as well as Coffee Club on the Tychus, on the Rhaegar, even Genji to some extent, but he'll be more... You can lock down that Genji and get a lot of damage, but the deflect is what Genji has to really, I guess, keep him alive through a lot of the burst damage that will be coming his way. But let's get into this one, Skimmy. Any predictions?
I mean, I'm just... As much as I want to root for the boys in Milkshake to see the underdog prevail, I'm looking at this composition from Nomia and knowing how well they are as a bunch of individual players, mechanically strong, to see them bust out a composition like this, not to say it's like they're trying to style on their opponents, but it's just so interesting to me they bring someone like this out to try and secure that 2-0. I'm looking to see what the Nomia boys can do.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I was thinking the same. It's almost like the way Nomia picked this time around. They pick heroes that they're all very, very strong on, very, very confident with, and then they managed to make a composition with it as well. Let's see if it pays off, namely that Valera pick. That will be the one that we will have eyes on this entire game. Fat94 has shown us in the past, done some insane plays. I still remember on Cursed Hollow, almost like a 3v1 and walked away with the boss. Something ridiculous like that. So let's see what he's got, Skimmy. And the Milkshake boys, you cannot count them down and out. Tales of Doom was one of the maps that they actually ended up taking away from NMD. let's see how they do it. They've done it in the past. Can they do it again? We're waiting to see.
Yeah, I think it's all going to come down to, once again, the ability to play their own style of comp. The strategy needs to be proactive as opposed to reactive. And that was a big part of their success. And when they've gone up against NMD, they played their style and they played consistently. But, you know, when you verse those big dogs, be it Nomia, they have that dominant personality about them. They'll say, we are playing this way, and you have to adapt to that. So, be it now, they are the ones that are forced to be aggressive. We want to see them play in lane as such, and cause to have it. Right now, Fat94 is laning, almost a soaking buddy like we can see him in the past when he's playing Zeratul.
Soaking buddy, I love it. That's exactly what he's trying to do, just get down that experience and then go for the roam. Or is it going to be Ryumak that they try to see if he can cover off too? No, he's just creeping it up. I'm like, that would be asking perhaps a bit too much.
I mean, that would be like a Leoric cosplay, but you're a Zerg, so he's maybe having a bit of a gender identity crisis, but it is 2017, so nothing's off the cards. But let's carry on with this one. Ryu in the top lane, he's up against the Hawk, and this is that matchup. He played it on Brax's holdout. He did work against the boys last time, and that's going to be a hard lane for Magic Gnome to deal with. But the first kill goes into the bottom lane. It was Malfurion in that forward, Vandy.
But Fat94, he makes sure that you need to watch it, you need to respect the Valor. Penta gives him the helping hand as well. No follow-up, so trade for trade, and it's even Steven. Schemy, one thing that's interesting, although the Malthael ban was hovered over, right? I think Milkshake, they saw through that as well. Like, why would Nomia let that one through? They must have an answer for it. So interesting that Milkshake, they either did not want to take the bait, or they saw that their team composition, there's something else that they could do with it. So by having Dahak as a solo lane, instead they got Tychus for the percentile-based shred. I mean, is it mind games at this point as well? Because arguably, Malthael, he could have sustained quite well against that lane, against Gara.
I think it's a bit of both at this stage, but Fat94 is already overexposed, looking to try and go for that collapse, but it might be Ryu who pays the price. He gets stunned out twice. That was that CC window. The opportunity comes, and the opportunity goes with the kill secured. That's what they need, but that's the kill retaliated and returned as the Haka falls on back. It's a 1-for-1 right now. Healing Ward is used to try and sustain them, but the hook is good onto Azog the Cat. Oh, the power slide, even better, denying the root from connecting. And now it's looking like just a simple trade, 1-for-1.
I'm looking at this Schemy. I was just looking at the talents that Fat94 had opted for, as we have not seen a Villa in a long time, opting for that crippling poison, meaning that he can slow down and really accentuate what his team's trying to do, almost that follow-up to the hook as well. So he is almost like the portable Uther in the Stitches comp.
I mean, right now, Ryu's in the bottom lane. He's just looking to try and get XP. I mean, Vanilla actually went in there using the Moonfire to try and delay this one. He delayed for quite a while, but he paid the price of his life being used as well. That's the hook, and that's the cheap shot to follow up. But the Dragger's even better this time. Can they look for a kill onto Ben? No, they can't. But John, despite only being at level 5, is starting to really hurt. These Arcane Orbs are always connecting with at least 2 to 3 members.
They're getting low, but no kills are being traded, and Nomia actually the ones to pay the price with a kill being taken and traded with Vanilla going down. That's the second time now. So they're focusing on that support. They're almost tunneling, if you will, and it's paying the price. The Milkshake boys are doing quite well. Fat94, he does the game. The root is good, and that's Tychus taken out now.
And that's the team cohesion you expect of a team like Nomia, though. Don't make those mistakes. So now they look for the bottom lane. If they can sneak up onto Genji, he will become another target in their eyes. Those towers have no ammo. Just looking like a nice one for them. Cheap shot, open it up. And he burns the reflect. Is forced to use that swift strike out. Obviously, all the mobility in the world, not the easiest of gank targets. And not with only 2 members at that. Sappers are picked up now, looking to try and apply that pressure to the bot lane. The lane where it all really matters, Vandy. 2 Sappers to boot. Looking to get those bell towers and looking to secure those extra shots from the altars.
Absolutely, Schemy. That's why bottom lane is the most highly contested lane of all and the most advantageous to take because of the positioning of the Sappy camps. So you can expect a lot around this. Nomia, they've already opened up, taken that front wall. There's some nice experience that they've netted themselves. They actually are the first to hit level 7 and get that talent.
Right now, Vanilla is actually caught out of position. Their helping hand comes out in the nick of time. As the Cat was threatening with the power slide, but he decides to back away. And that's actually interesting shortly because Magic Gnome has rocked up to the party, assuming that ETC was going to go for it. He has to burn the essence in the burrows very early on, and Tychus is caught within it. Oh, the hooks and the orbs flying on by, playing with fire. As the Cat is literally filling with death himself, down to 400. But the Calamity comes across. They net 1, they net 2. They look for the Sapphire Skull as well, and now they can go for that altar leading with the spell tower.
So let's talk about why that punishes Milkshake so much, because Magic Gnome was forced to rotate, or did rotate because of miscommunications, either or. What that meant was that Ryu, he's unchecked in the top lane. He's getting that additional soak. Fat94 as well in the mid lane. There were 5 members committed at the bottom. And because they didn't get any kills for that exchange, it punishes them a lot. They actually do lose the bell tower as well. So Nomia, because of that, the decision-making coming out of Milkshake, they were able to capitalize on it so nicely. Netting themselves 5 shots directly to the core.
And it's something we've also talked about in the past as well, Vandy, the ability to bait out the global effect. You can see that Metronome is not having the best time up in that top lane against Ray, who's got so much creep, so much control, so much vision to command that lane, but he was pushing uncontested that entire time. Right play, right idea by Magic Dome to go to the bottom lane, try and force that fight, but if you're unable to secure any kind of objective or victory from that, then you just lose that lane even harder than you were before. And now it's level 10 on the horizon for Nomia. A 2-level lead is starting to creep on up.
Absolutely. You can see they're getting a little bit punished here. They don't have the best wave clear either, especially the Genji. We know he offers little to no wave clear. He's all about the fight. And it's more that they don't really have the safety to clear. Coffee Clubber in the top lane, he's in so much pain. He's going to get taken down. Fat94 is hunting for another kill onto Magic Node.
Mena's looking for it. He does have the root. It connects. Twilight Dream might be used here. Burrow, I believe, has already gone down. It has. No, it comes across now, looking to try and go for a Twilight Dream and the cheap shot. All the DPS in the world. And the Bugman falls to the floor. 2 people down. That top bell tower exposed as well, if they so desire. The Sapper taken away, so they cannot push that easily in with just these 2 members. But they go for the rotation, looking for the mid lane. And they just want to try and keep this map on lock, especially since Milkshake don't have 10 for a while.
You can see the way Nomia like to play it. As we said, it is exactly the way old Nomia would have done it. The aggression that comes out of them once they start getting a little bit of a lead is phenomenal. They're not afraid to invade. They're not afraid to make these plays and dive, go for the kills. That's the Nomia we know and love. They know their limits to some extent as well. And I think that aggression really does reward them because, as you said, Skinny, when you're a team like Milkshake, a newly emerging team, you're starting to find your roots. And it can be quite daunting. Like, how do you respond? It's about how you can best recover and really stop the snowball effect.
And what better than to learn it against one of ANZ's very best. Go up against a team like this, and you'll definitely come away with some lessons. Lessons that you want to learn, not lessons you get at school where you're forced to turn up with that textbook and think, why am I here? There's no student loan here. It's all about skins, because skins get the wins. Arkinol comes across. It's going to try and delay for as long as possible. John, being that annoyance in both games, if he's not chucking out owls, he's chucking out orbs. 2 altars to pick, and the skirmishes in both parts of those towers.
You can see, I mean, Deceptive Smurfy's trying to stop that 94 from getting the catch, almost pays the price with his life. Can they get at least 1 altar? Look at how much denial is coming up. No one's there to body block for Crazy Dave.
They're not. The skirmish is happening both across the board. Leming dies in the top side, but in the bottom lane, Fat94 is actually dueling Deceptive Smurf all day long. He can't actually go on in. He has all his cooldowns available, but I mean, he can literally get 1 shot at this stage during a CC cooldown period. There's the Odin, the Power Slide, looking for Penta right now. 4 members surrounding him. They are absolutely body blocking him to hell and back. Genji falls amongst it all. Literally chaos across, and not a single altar is being picked up, Vandy.
Worked out well. The fact that Crazy Dave, no one was with him, it just meant that they were collapsing onto John. Penta, his attention was fully focused on stopping Crazy Dave, and against all odds, this works out super well for Milkshake. All of that really came about because of the pick that they got on John.
This is fantastic team performance right now from Milkshake. They find those 3 kills. They're looking for more right now as Rio looks to try and shuffle himself in. He does have that Nidus network, so lacking that team fight potential, but definitely looking to keep this map under control. That's why they have a 2-level lead, but the slow potential is there. Oh, Ancestral came across, but John says not today. He knocks on home in the Calamity, and he knocks on hard.
Ryu, he was able to buy so much time for his team. That is just how irritating Cigar can be. The Baneless, the Mutalist, whatever you call them, the little things that she spawns. Basically, the entire Zerg army was at their doorstep around that altar, stopping the channel. Enough time for John, and kablam, they got that kill. They turn it back, Nomia. Instead of capping 2 altars, the Milkshake boys, they actually lose 1 of them, and they're forced to now recapture their bell towers. The one that was taken early on in the top lane, they need to get it back, and this is precious seconds.
It's rotations and rotations in favour of Nomia right now. They reacquire the bot lane. They take back that bell tower. Now they go for the Sappers, looking to try and escort 3 shots in for free. Scoreboard shows it's 30 to Nomia and 25 to Milkshake. A close game when it comes to towards all things said and done. I mean, that team fight that happened just before Milkshake, a big sign of potential for this match alone. And we're talking about that last game as well. They had those moments of magic. It's consistency that they're looking for, but when we discussed, what this team is like, they've shown that they have that mentality, that they're not in this for the short run. They want to stick around and they want to improve.
Yep, they're looking for the ways that they can, they're looking for opportunities, and they're adapting. That's more important. The hook does go out onto Penta, Cleanse follows, and instead the Twilight Dream has been used. Metronome, he's looking, Tongue does not connect.
It's a fantastic trade. Cleanse for Twilight Dream. I will take that one all day of the week. Crazy Dave doing fantastic work to make sure that Coffee Clubber was not a casualty there. But now, Milkshake are getting hungry. They're looking for a kill. They want to chase on in. The sappers from Nomia's side of the court now are coming across as they take back their bell tower. You can see Rio still in the top lane looking to do whatever he can. Another hook, forcing out the Ancestral this time. And Deceptor Smurf starts to get rowdy in there with the Dragon's Blade, looking to hack and slash away. Moshpit connecting onto one. The Unstoppable Clips onto Ben isn't going to be enough. It's ETC that falls on down first. A 1-for-1 trade, Bandy, as Marafion joins it too.
He does. John is forced to leave because he is so low. Ryu has joined the fray as well with a nice network, but it's Genji that falls.
And Fan04 jumps into the backline, Death from above, hunting away. Every time that stealth is available, he is looking to assassinate somebody for free. Gets the re-stealth, goes for the kill. Magic Gnome does have the burrow down to 200. And it's Deja Vu again. Coffee Clubber coming on through with that Odin, chucking through with those cannons and collecting with the kill. It's a 3-for-2 right now. But the Calamity, once again, when the fight gets like this, John does not miss those skill shots. He's looking for one more. The clean ace, a delayed ace with ETC coming back up. Shows you how long these fights are going on for.
John with that mirror ball as well, he's getting so much damage out of the arcane missiles, and like you said, Skimmy, he does not miss those skill shots when push comes to shove. It's full focus. I love the way, once again, Nomia, they showed so much restraint. This is the second time now Ryu, he's forced some sort of response or gotten some sort of value before he came to join the fight. That's the communication coming from Nomia saying, okay, don't engage too hard yet. I'm taking this bell tower, I'm going to use the Knives Network and come and join you guys. Instead of being that cigar, almost the way people play these global heroes is that you ignore everything else, but no. They've read the composition coming out of Milkshake, and that's very team fight oriented. By fighting a 4v5, we can see they got so low. They needed to actually back out of the fight. Otherwise, Nomia, they were close to losing that one.
And another question you have to ask yourself is if the fight is that close when they're down that many talents as well as levels, I mean, imagine if they are on that even footing. Level 16 is on the horizon now, looking to try and make that a possibility, but Magic Gnome is being caught in the bottom lane. 4 members from Nomia looking for that collapse. Spyro is not going to come across the instant one-shot. As soon as he's below 30%, he knows he's a dead man. The hook and the root make that 2. You're not even safe behind that frontline wall. And Nomia, wow, they want 3 shots of free with these sappers coming across that finishing line.
Sappers as well as the top lane, if they capture that last bell tower, as we know, for each couple seconds that all 3 are counted, there'll be 1 shot fired directly to the core. Milkshake boys, they're very much aware of that. They're trying their best to at least recapture one of these bell towers. But this is never the position you want to be on a map like this. You never want to be playing catch up. Look at Penta on the side.
I was just going to say, Penta literally flirting with his hook. He chucked out the sinker. He had the bait and he was looking for it, but no. Not the best fisherman in the pond right now. ANZ still looking to claim a Stitches master. But this map so far, kills are 16-8. A scoreboard which shows the chaos is as chaotic as this draft may be. Every single member right now of Milkshake is in that top lane. They are having sick times dealing with Sagara.
They really are. The push that Ryu comes up with. I actually saw something funny today where Ryu was saying, I'm not sure if it was a boast or a brag, but he said, I've never played a support game in my life, and with a man this good at solo laning, do you need to? So he's showing us how it's done and how he likes to do it, more importantly. Gone are the days, do you remember when he was starting as well and he was just getting caught out of position? Gone are those days.
One of those days indeed, but gone on this fight right now is looking pretty skeptical right there. Odin is used, and same with the Ancestral. Twilight Dream is going to find a lot of value, and that might be all lights out right now for Crazy Dave. Yes, it will be. Looking for Azov the Cat. The second one, Wave of Force, will not be enough burst to secure that reset. They are so low. Stitches with the slam, looking to slow them all on down, all sub 30%. Deceptive Smurf has had enough. He wants to try and get some kills on the scoreboard. He finds one. Fantasy 4 gets the re-stealth, but it's not going to be enough. It's a 3-for-2, and once again, Bandy, despite this level deficit, look how well Milkshake are doing.
Milkshake are doing quite decently, however, the deaths punish them so much more. It's close. I mean, they're getting some kills, sure, but it's not happening. Nomia pick up level 20 now, and I'm getting really scared that last bell tower is going to be easily captured by Ryu. This is when the countdown begins. In fact, this is just going to be game.
I mean, that was their best chance of a comeback, and as close as it was, it's not close enough. Nomia on the day with a wacky draft, secure the 2-0, they get the 3-0 with that best of 3 series, and they can feel quite confident about their chances leading into the championship finals later in the season.
It was, and I mean, great sportsmanship from the Milkshake boys as well. GGs are being called out, and good luck for next game. And like we said, Skimmy, it was still a very, very intense game. And the team fight, the composition that they drafted worked so much better for Milkshake. The fact that they were able to differentiate. This time they managed to pick up 10 kills for their troubles versus 21 from Nomia, but much, much closer than last game, showing that they're able to adapt, they're able to improve. And more importantly, get a learning lesson out of this. Nomia showing us still how it's done. And the Valera, everyone's talking point, it worked out so well. Fat94 able to execute anyone that was starting to get low, just really causing havoc in the backline. That's what you want the Valera to be able to do.
Yeah, if there's one thing we can take away from this one, it's Milkshake put up a good fight there. Like I said, the running commentary for me was there were moments of magic, but consistency is a big factor they can look to work on, and that should be something that we should be keeping an eye on going forward for the 2018 circuit. Definitely a team to keep your eye on as a top 8 contender. But that does it for series number 1. Back now to the man known as Crisis as we get ready for the next series.
Thank you very, very much, Skimmy, as we jump on over into getting ourselves onto screen. Hey, so what a game. Milkshake, unfortunately, it's not quite the end of the road for them. That's the end of the road to the finals. They've got to take a little bit of a detour now and head on over down into the lower bracket. And I think that they will be going up against NMD, possibly. So we're going to have a look at the bracket during the break, ladies and gentlemen, get some updates through. And then when we come back, we'll look at the state of play. I do believe one of those results has come through. NMD have won their first match. So they are at 22 points on the leaderboard, and that means that depending on how things happen with Crimson and Dark-Sided, we might have a tiebreaker match on our hands happening in the lower bracket. So don't go away. We'll be back in about 3 minutes to find out what's going to be happening next, firstly, and secondly, to draw the next loot chest code. So don't go away.